Welcome, honored guests. The 144th Annual Commencement of Lewis and Clark College will now come to order. Please rise as you are able for the national anthem and invocation.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I invite you to join with me in the spirit of prayer. Gracious God, we give thanks for this joyous afternoon that unites us in celebration with those who become Lewis and Clark College graduates today. As the members of the class of 2017 reach this milestone, may they be reminded of the many accomplishments they have experienced over these college years. And may their gratitude abound for everything that the pursuit of knowledge has made possible in their lives. May each one commence today with an enduring passion to achieve their highest potential, and as they mature in heart, mind, and soul, may they stand tall in our world as beacons of hope. We give thanks on this day for families and friends, for teachers and mentors, for all those who have challenged, encouraged, and cared for us. As we consider with gratitude the blessings of past and present, may each of us gathered here today go forth with a renewed spirit of openness and optimism for the future which lies ahead. As we are blessed, may we in turn aspire to inspire those around us. And may all our days be sustained by love, guided by wisdom, and empowered by hope. Amen. Please be seated.
Good morning. Let's have one more round of applause for our musicians, the Montebello Brass and the Senior Choir, under the direction of Catherine Fitzgibbon, Associate Professor of Music. President Ellis, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished colleagues, respected staff, proud parents, family and friends of those students graduating today, and of course, the class of 2017. I am Catherine Gunther Kodat, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 144th Annual Commencement Ceremony of Lewis and Clark's College of Arts and Sciences. Please let me acknowledge a few members of our community as we begin. I want to thank the many faculty and staff members who worked so diligently and effectively to create this joyous event. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Scott Dobchansky, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and other trustees and executive officers. And I would like to take this moment to recognize some of our faculty members. Elizabeth Safran, Associate Professor of Geological Science, was selected by our students this year as the Professor of the Year. Please join me. Dr. Deborah Heath, Associate Professor of Anthropology, received the David Savage Award, which is given to a faculty member whose vision and sustained service to the college have advanced the general academic and intellectual welfare of our community. The award memorializes the selfless ethic of service demonstrated over the years by the late Dr. David Savage, a model of inspirational leadership, tireless support, and genuine respect for his colleagues. I wish to thank Deborah Beers, Senior Lecturer in Art and Program Head of Drawing, Curtis Johnson, the Dr. Robert B. Pamplin Jr. Professor of Government, and Tatiana Osipovich, Associate Professor of Russian, who are retiring this year. These faculty members have given devoted service to the college over many years. They inspire us all to live up to the standards of passionate teaching, probing scholarship, and tireless enthusiasm for the mission and the people of Lewis and Clark that their careers have exemplified. Lastly, I ask you to join me in honoring two beloved members of the faculty who were abruptly and tragically lost to us this year. Associate Professor of Physics Shannon T. O'Leary joined the faculty in 2011. Her husband, Dr. Adam Clausen, also taught in our physics department. During their time at Lewis and Clark, Dr. O'Leary and Dr. Clausen won the love and admiration of students, faculty, and staff. They are sorely missed, but we remember them. Please join me in a moment of silence in their memory. It is now my honor to introduce Lewis and Clark's interim president, David Ellis. President Ellis has led Lewis and Clark since January of this year. He served as Vice President, Secretary to the Board, and General Counsel for the past 13 years, having previously served as Associate Dean and Director of Business Law Programs at Lewis and Clark Law School. For the past 2 years, President Ellis has taught higher education law for the Master's Degree Program in Student Affairs Administration at Lewis and Clark's Graduate School of Education and Counseling. Over the past decade, President Ellis has served as a member of the United Educators Legal Advisory Board, the National Association of Independent Colleges and Universities Legal Advisory Board, as board chair and member of the advisory board of Hoyt Arboretum Friends, on the City of Portland's Economic Development Policy Expert Group, and on a variety of advisory committees concerning land use regulation of colleges, universities, and hospitals in Portland. Honored guests, the President of Lewis and Clark College, David Ellis.
Thank you, Dean Kodat. So I go off script every once in a while, and I'm going to do that right now. I want to thank Dean Kodat for her service to Lewis and Clark College. I think you know that she is leaving us at the end of this year to pursue her career in the East, closer to her family, and she's been a tremendous colleague, a close friend, and she'll be dearly missed. All right, good afternoon, students. Welcome everyone to our faculty, trustees, parents, friends, staff. This is a great event. I'm so excited to be here and to be looking out at the class of 2017. We're here to cheer you on. So a little bit about you. The many flags behind me stand as a small measure of the international reach of your class. They attest that our graduating class is made up of the knowledge, perspectives, culture, and lived experiences of 43 of the world's nations. This is important today. And my wish for you, class of 2017, is that you will continue to build on these collective perspectives and experiences in your own lives, and that you will share them freely with others. You will benefit from them, and they will benefit from knowing you. So, your generation is inheriting from mine some challenging issues. Some of the problems seem existential. They may seem insurmountable. But because I know you, I have hope. We have hope. You're up to the challenge. I know you are. I truly believe it starts with love and it expands with curiosity. It advances with perseverance and succeeds with empathy and a commitment to equity and justice. So you have achieved so much. Examples abound. I can't even start to list them all, but a couple. You've introduced sustainable oyster culture, or oyster aquaculture in Senegal, and in Uganda you will soon be teaching former child soldiers how to farm. Here at home you've juggled the academic demands of a rigorous education while making lifelong friends. You've stayed up all night to study, and sometimes not to study. You've written journalism, poetry, short stories, created and played music, created art that defines you and defines us, and our shared experiences. You've looked at life inside and out, learned the history of civilizations, and gazed to the heavens considering its vastness and the meaning of life. You've worked in the laboratories on cutting-edge research and learned languages of the world. You've competed, which means you've also lost and hopefully won, but learned that it's about the journey. You've explored the context of the human condition through scientific, historical, cultural, philosophical, and spiritual lenses. And this context will allow you to pioneer advances in the fields of knowledge known and not even known to us today. But most importantly, it will lead you to live meaningful lives of hope, peace, love, and fulfillment. Here's the thing. You leave here today possessing the abilities of curiosity and capacity to make a positive change in the world. Your professors and mentors have worked with you to ensure that you're ready, including in ways you may not even recognize. This college has taught you things that will fortify you many times over in the years ahead. So we're here to celebrate you, and soon Dean Kodat will read the charge to the class. And I have a wish or two for you as well. I wish that you will stay in touch with your college, stay in touch with us, with your professors, with your mentors, and those of us that you've gotten to know, with your friends, the many friends that you've made at the college, that you'll be active in your alumni association, that you'll be ever more involved in the life of Lewis and Clark. For through you and your help, we will fortify future generations. There is no better evidence of the relevance of Lewis and Clark than you. My wish for you is also that you will take what you have learned and experienced here, take it into the world, so that when problems arise, you will offer solutions, and that you will approach the loves and works of your lives with the zest, curiosity, and awe that we have all seen. This is your life. Make it your own in whatever you may do, and always be alert to the muse of serendipity. So you leave here today with the capacity to do all of this and more, and to do it with compassion, integrity, and grace. I congratulate you, class of 2017. I give you my love, our love, and all good wishes. Thank you.
is my great privilege and pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Michele Norris. Before I do so, I would like to thank the members of the Commencement Speaker Selection Committee who more than a year ago began the process of identifying and securing this year's commencement speaker. The selection of a commencement speaker is no easy task, for it is not enough that the honored recipient have the gift of eloquence. He or she must also embody the highest ideals of the college. I can think of no one who better upholds Lewis and Clark's ideals of fearless exploration, lifelong learning, and selfless public service than Michele Norris. We are honored to have her here with us today, and I am deeply honored to introduce her to you. A native of Minnesota, Ms. Norris graduated from Washburn High School in Minneapolis and then matriculated at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where she began her undergraduate education majoring in electrical engineering. After transferring to the University of Minnesota, she changed her major to journalism and mass communication, and we are, all of us, the richer for it. While a student, she wrote for the Minnesota Daily and then worked for a time for the Minneapolis CBS affiliate, WCCO, before returning to newspaper journalism. In the early years of her career, she worked as a staff reporter for the Chicago Tribune, the Los Angeles Times, and the Washington Post. It was while she was at the Post that Ms. Norris won the 1990 Livingstone Award for a series of articles describing the life of a 6-year-old boy who lived in a crack house with his addicted mother. Those articles have since been reprinted in an edition of Carol J. Verberg's Ourselves Among Others, a cross-cultural collection of essays whose contributors have also included Annie Dillard, Václav Havel, and Nelson Mandela. From 1993 to 2002, Ms. Norris was a reporter for ABC News, where she earned Emmy and Peabody Awards for her coverage of the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center. She joined National Public Radio's All Things Considered in 2002, and in doing so, became the first African-American woman to host a program on NPR. Yes. Her years at NPR have been studded with accolades. In 2006, she received the National Association of Black Journalists Salute to Excellence Award for her coverage of Hurricane Katrina. During the 2008 presidential campaign, she co-hosted NPR's Democratic presidential candidates debate and held a series of public conversations with voters on race and politics. For that series, she and co-host Steve Inskeep of NPR's Morning Edition won the Alfred I. DuPont Columbia University Award for Excellence in Broadcasting. In 2009, she was named Journalist of the Year by the National Association of Black Journalists. And that same year, she was named one of Essence Magazine's 25 most influential Black Americans and was elected to Ebony Magazine's Power 150 list. In 2010, she launched the Race Card Project, which she has described as an effort to ask people to think about their experiences, questions, hopes, dreams, laments, or observations about race and identity, and distill those thoughts into a single 6-word sentence. She describes the result of this ongoing project as a fascinating archive of attitudes about race at an interesting point in history. The inaugural year of the Race Card Project also saw the publication of Ms. Norris's memoir, The Grace of Silence. Quote, "I set out to write a book exploring America's hidden conversation about race," Ms. Norris wrote of her memoir, "but changed course when I started listening intently to the hidden conversations in my own family. I was shocked to learn that my father was shot in the leg by white police officers in Birmingham, Alabama, shortly after returning from his military service in World War II. While the wound was superficial, the experience was not, and the story remained submerged for decades. But my mother also had a secret. She never spoke about the years her mother worked as an itinerant Aunt Jemima, traveling to small towns, conducting pancake mix demonstrations, dressed in a hoop skirt and apron with a bandana on her head. I always knew that I was shaped by my parents' expectations," Ms. Norris continued. "What I did not realize until recently is that I was also shaped by their silence. I now understand that I was molded in myriad ways by those things they never talked about, but that nonetheless dictated how they lived their lives. They didn't want to weigh down our pockets with tales of woe. Instead, they armed us with ambition instead of anxiety. My parents kept those stories to themselves because they wanted their children to soar. Please join me in welcoming our honored guest, Michele Norris.
Dean Kodak, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. And President Ellis, thank you so much for having me here. Thanks also to the selection committee for allowing me to be here with all of you today. Good day to the faculty, the families, the alumni, the distinguished guests, but most especially, good day to all of you. This is your day. You made it. You're here at the finish line. You've done all the work. Even though you may still have that anxiety dream that you might have for the next 20 years where you wake up, am I really 4 credits short? Did I really finish? You're here because you really did finish. And so congratulations, big ups. I'm from the Midwest, and on a day like today, people would say, smell you. Which is a way of saying you've really done something. I love college graduations, and one of the reasons that I love college graduations is that it's a moment that is so filled with possibility and awe. And there are some of you out there whose parents are sitting out here above you here in the Coliseum with an extra big, broad, high wattage smile on their face because they wondered if you were going to make it to this day. Or maybe they wondered if they were going to make it to this day. Because your dreams may have exceeded their bank accounts, your stress might have seeped into their lives, but you made it work. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe their expectations exceeded your ability to get up consistently for that 8 a.m. class. But you did it. You all made it. And I bet along the way that you maybe exceeded your own expectations. Maybe you found something deep inside yourself that you didn't even know was there. But you did this with a lot of help. You didn't get here by yourself. You did this because you were surrounded by fabulous people here at Lewis and Clark, and you did this because you had a team that was behind you, physically, financially, spiritually. And so while we are here to celebrate you, yes, this day is all about you. I just want to take a minute, if you don't mind, to celebrate the people who helped get you here. So I want you to do me a favor. We're going to have like a little break, get the blood circulation going. Stand up, if you will. And I want you to turn around and face the people who helped get you to this moment. And give them a big round of applause. Okay, now that we've got the blood circulation going, we can take our seats again. This is a wonderful day, and it's wonderful to see that circle of pride because they are so proud of you, and I am so proud of you and so honored to look out upon your faces and to see all the hope and possibility here. And for you, you're indeed graduating from a very special place. Very few campuses are more beautiful than Lewis and Clark, more committed to our planet, and more committed to producing global thinkers and leaders. Like Lewis and Clark, you now enter the world with a spirit of adventure. You're free to explore that world, to feast of life's bounty, to maybe rest a little bit and get a little bit of sleep. You earn that. But we're counting on you to use your talents and your energies and your boundless curiosity to lift us all up. As you heard President Ellis said, it begins with love, but that's fueled by curiosity, and we need you to have that burning curiosity when you go out into the world. Go out and explore this world. It's waiting for you, and we can't wait to see how bold and how highly you soar, because that's what pioneers do. They light the way for the rest of us, and we can't wait to see what you do. To the class of 2017, God bless you. God bless your families. it has been an honor to be with you today. Go Pioneers, go.
President Ellis, it gives me great pleasure to present Michele Norris for the awarding of the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
So just 1 second. I could not believe that, and I want to say, like many of you here today, you have brightened my day in the pouring rain, stuck in traffic, trying to get somewhere when it didn't seem like there was any hope. And so I just want to thank you for that. As a journalist, yeah. As a journalist, author, and consummate storyteller, you have chronicled human nature with conscience, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to truth. Indeed, your extraordinary work is rooted in deep curiosity, a quest to understand and a drive to share what you discover. Your journey has taken you from writing stories as a child about your Oakland Avenue neighbors in South Minneapolis to reporting the lives of people and nations as host of National Public Radio's All Things Considered, to opening hard and necessary conversations about our nation's longest lasting scar through the Race Card Project. And in your memoir, The Grace of Silence, you teach us that the struggles and aspirations of our nation can be traced through the secrets and strivings of a family. For revealing the power of personal narratives to connect us across differences, for pushing us not simply to observe, but to engage the world in all its complexity, and for demonstrating that a resolute and confident voice, speaking with truth, ultimately mute the most bellicose, and for believing in the power of ideas and of our students. Lewis and Clark is honored this day to confer upon you, Michele Norris, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Our senior speaker is Arielle Valdez, a psychology and, yes. A psychology and rhetoric and media studies double major and a member of the golf team. A Los Angeles native, Arielle has taken full advantage of everything a liberal arts college like Lewis and Clark can offer. Something you might guess from the fact that she is both a double major and a varsity athlete. Arielle told me that she chose Lewis and Clark because I didn't want it to be just golf in school. By her own admission, though, she is the kind of person who, as she put it to me, likes to do so many things, it can be a problem. So it's no surprise that she was thinking of double majoring even before she arrived in Portland. During her time with us, She has also been a resident advisor. This past year, she was resident career advisor and a member of the Merriweathers a cappella singing group. Though she wasn't able to squeeze in a minor in music, there just wasn't room in my schedule, she confessed with a sigh. Arielle's sojourn with the Merriweathers allowed her to realize another ambition, which was to learn all of the Disney princess songs. My ultimate dream is to be a Disney princess, she laughingly told me, not the live action, just the voiceover. And that's a good thing for your typical Disney princess who would be hard put to keep up with Arielle's own live action. Majoring in psych allowed her to gratify her lifelong curiosity about how people operate. As she said, I always knew that I wanted to study people. And that passionate curiosity and compassion spills over into everything she does. Having completed her senior thesis exploring the connection between poverty and developmental psychopathologies, Arielle plans to take a year off before returning to her studies here at Lewis and Clark, this time at the Graduate School of Education and Counseling. With a strong interest in elementary education, Arielle hopes eventually to work in Portland Public Schools. Ideally, she told me, at a Title I school where the needs are greatest. As she put it, I feel this is what I need to be doing. Something else you might find interesting to know about Arielle. Her father applied to Lewis and Clark College and was waitlisted. He was accepted at another West Coast liberal arts college and was comfortable with his decision when Lewis and Clark came calling with the news that he was off the waitlist and admitted. But it was too late. The die was cast. There's no indication that Arielle's dad ever regretted his decision, but he did communicate his affection for Lewis and Clark College to his daughter, who made LC her first choice school. Lucky, lucky us. Please join me in welcoming our first choice senior speaker for the class of 2017, Arielle Valdez.
Thank you, Dean Kodat, for that lovely introduction. Family, friends, faculty, staff, the best Dean of Students ever, Anna Gonzalez, per her request, and most of all, to my fellow graduates, good afternoon and welcome. I am so incredibly excited and nervous to be here with you all today. When Angela Buck from IME first reached out to ask if she could nominate me for a senior speaker commencement candidate, I felt so honored that I didn't even think twice about respectfully declining. Because after feeling honored that she even thought of me, I immediately felt this sense of inadequacy. Thanks to the mandatory in-class presentations of virtually every professor at Lewis and Clark, or at least the ones that I've had and have heard of, it wasn't that I thought I was incapable of public speaking. I just didn't feel that I should be the one to have the honor of being the senior speaker for the class of 2017. In more or less words, I was stressed out, and this should be funny for those of you who know me, and also not a shocker. I mean, was I qualified to do this? How do I even write a commencement speech? Thankfully, these past 4 years in college have reinforced to me that Google is my best pal. This is the part where I'd like to thank my family for allowing me to experience a wonderful liberal arts education and reassure them that I learned a lot more from my professors than I did from Google. Ultimately, though, it did help with all of my commencement speech questions, and here we are now. After my brief, or not so brief, panic attack in Google search, I quickly realized that it would be an honor to be the senior speaker. The people who know me the best know that I am a people pleaser. I don't like to let my friends and family down. And so I realized that this speech, it isn't for me. It's for all of us. This day is for all of us. Our families, our friends, our professors, our mentors. Some would say that today marks the end and the beginning of chapters in our lives. While this is true, today also marks a celebration of all that we have accomplished, not only in these past 4 years, but our whole academic careers. Today represents all of our hard-earned work that we were able to achieve because we had people who supported us along the way. Lewis and Clark was my first choice college. During my junior year in high school, I decided that pursuing a golf scholarship at a large university wasn't worth it to me. I wanted a holistic education at a liberal arts school where I could focus on school and pursue as many of my interests as I could. I also wanted to make the connections and invaluable memories that so many people had told me about. I wanted to go to a place I could call home. When I reflect on the last 4 years, I'm incredibly grateful for being a part of this community. Going to Lewis and Clark has made me a better student because the relationships I developed with all of my professors made me want to grow and to do work that I could be proud of. Going to Lewis and Clark has made me a better classmate because I was surrounded by people who are so brilliant and so supportive. In the last 2 years especially, when our work as students became more and more focused and important in our majors, it has been humbling to be surrounded by peers who want to achieve and succeed together, both in school and in life. Going to Lewis and Clark has made me a better person because the accepting and inclusive environment has helped me develop empathy, compassion, and understanding as a human being. 4 years ago at convocation, Professor Becco Copenhaver talked about finding your passion. She said that many first-year students are told to go to college with the mindset of finding or pursuing a passion, but that the mindset of finding your passion was problematic because college isn't just a time for people to find one single passion. She encouraged us, especially as Lewis and Clark students, to explore our passions because it was more than okay to be passionate about multiple things. That for me was one of the moments that I will never forget because I knew then that I had made the right choice. Because I went to Lewis and Clark, I got to pursue my passions. I got to play golf. I got to study both psychology and rhetoric and media studies. I got to be a resident advisor. I got to sing in a cappella. I got to study abroad. And I got to develop some of the most incredible and cherished relationships of my life. Now, that may seem like a lot, but when I look back at these past 4 years, and when I look at you, my fellow classmates, I can't recall a time when I met someone at Lewis and Clark who was just a student. I didn't get the chance to personally know all of you, but I did get the chance to get to know a good number of you. And I'm still amazed and inspired both by what you have individually accomplished and what we have collectively accomplished as the class of 2017. We weren't just students. We were, and we are, artists, athletes, musicians, scientists, leaders of organizations and events, advocates for various and important causes, writers, student workers, world travelers, and so much more. I couldn't be prouder to stand amongst all of you. Today is a celebration of the last 4 years we have spent at Lewis and Clark. With the support of our families, our professors, our friends, and each other, we have been able to accomplish so many incredible things that we care about. The pursuit of our passions doesn't have to end here. Life doesn't have to get in the way of doing the things that we love to do. These past 4 years have given us the foundation and the tools to keep going and growing as individuals who live passionately. And if we all continue to do the amazing things that I've had the privilege of seeing these past 4 years, then I have no doubt that we will become greater people and do greater things. So, in the great words of Maya Angelou, because I couldn't have said it better myself, my fellow class of 2017, make it your mission in life to not merely survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Thank you.
Before presenting the class of 2017, we pause to remember one member of the class who tragically is not with us today. The rose on the last student seat is in honor of Riley Zickel, who disappeared on a solo backpacking trip last July and has not been found. Riley was a chemistry major and a music minor who is remembered for his curiosity and his enthusiasm. Please join me in a moment of silence. As we move now to the conferral of degrees upon the class of 2017, I want to remind family and friends that professional photographers will be taking a photo of each graduate as they receive their diplomas and as they leave the stage. So we ask that you stay in your seats so that everyone may have a clear view of the stage. Thank you very much for your assistance. President Ellis, it gives me great pleasure to present the class of 2017. We have 435 students graduating. These graduates represent almost every state in the Union. 19 come to us from other nations, including Austria, Cambodia, China, Costa Rica, Haiti, India, Japan, Macau, Moldova, Saudi Arabia, the Republic of Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. Our international students are wearing ribbons displaying the colors of their country's flags. Our 24 Third Culture Kids, fondly known as TCKs, are individuals who have grown up in a country other than that of their birth, or who have lived in another country for a significant amount of time. TCKs wear the ribbons of the countries in which they live or have lived. These nations include Austria, Belgium, Cameroon, Canada, China, Costa Rica, Finland, France, Indonesia, Iran, Italy, Japan, Mexico, the Republic of Georgia, the Republic of Korea, Russia, and Singapore. Just as international students come to study here, so too our students travel in large numbers to study abroad. 248 members of this graduating class have studied overseas during their college years in 23 different countries. Another group of 11 has participated in off-campus domestic programs. These groups combined represent 60% of the class of 2017. These students are wearing the colors of the countries or states in which they have studied. 12 of them are wearing the colors of more than one flag. In your program, you will find descriptions of the cords, medallions, and tassels that supplement the student regalia and their significance. And let me now point out some specific groups and individuals among the students seated before us. Please join me in applause once they have all stood for recognition. The Phi Beta Kappa National Honor Society recognizes high academic achievement. Phi Beta Kappa members, please stand and be recognized. The Pamplin Society of Fellows, endowed by distinguished alumnus and former chair of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Robert Pamplin, celebrates excellence in the development of mind, body, and spirit. Members of the Pamplin Society assume a special responsibility for leadership through inspiration and by personal example. Please stand and be recognized. The Paul Barney Award recognizes contributions to campus life. With Sarah Buknovitz and Miguel Guerrero, please stand and be recognized. The President's recognition of outstanding community service honors students serving others through community involvement. This year's recipient is Julia Oatfield. Please stand and be recognized. The American Association of University Women Award for Outstanding Contribution of a Senior Woman was awarded to Katie Cowell. Please stand and be recognized. The Rena J. Ratty Memorial Award is the college's highest academic honor. Given in memory of Dr. Rena Ratty, remembered for her formidable intellect and commitment to academic rigor, it was awarded to Katie Cowell. President Ellis, our students embody American higher education at its best. Steeped in the traditions of the liberal arts, they have pursued social, scientific, aesthetic, and humanistic knowledge and experience, both for its own sake and for the sake of making the world a better place and themselves better people. In the library, in laboratories, in studios, classrooms, and on the playing fields, they have pushed themselves to explore and to question. They have braved the discomfort that attends the discovery of the new and unfamiliar, and they have felt the joyous flash of unexpected recognition and understanding. They have also learned in service to the wider community. Lewis and Clark students regularly give of themselves, tutoring immigrants in English, collecting food for the hungry, or raising awareness of environmental issues. Our students are informed and caring citizens. Graduates, as you cross the stage, you secure your place in the history of this fine college. With this privilege comes great responsibility, shared by the alumni who came before you and awaiting graduates of the future to embody the values that center a Lewis and Clark education: exploration, learning, and service. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Ellis, these candidates, having completed all the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts in their several disciplines, are presented for the conferral of their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Kodat. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Lewis and Clark College and under the laws of the state of Oregon, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all of the rights, responsibilities, and privileges thereto appertaining.
Class of 2017, please be seated and come forward at the direction of the faculty marshals.
Gregory D. Aronson. Antar Akira Abdurrahman. Haley Elizabeth Abarask Pinkstone. Anastasia Adriano. Aisha Oshaher Afalabi. Luz Ayere. Elizabeth Josephine Albanese. Brooke Ashworth Alexander. Elizabeth Chin Ramsey Allen. Rachel Ann Amity. Caleb H. Anderson. Natalie A. Anderson. Sarah E. Anderson. Simon Anderson. Maya Carson Anthony Crosby. Carl E. Appleton, Jr. Raquel Arce Guillen. Ursula Arhart. Elizabeth Leanne Armitage. Emily Rose Offeldish. Jeremy E. Bacharach. Zore Parak Bahardar. Reham Bahadain. Aurora Ellen Bailey. Jeremy Ballin. Samantha R. Barstack. Madison McCants Bartow. Victoria Zelmira Basket. Gemma Paula Balmer. Benjamin Samuel Beck. William Daniel Beck. Benjamin James Solomon Beecroft. Tessa Corinne Bellinger. Mariah K. Bellamoroso. Julia E. Benford. Olive Estelle Bernstein. Jacqueline J. Burson. Adam Betters. Emma L. Bidolph. Gabriel Lee Binder. Jeremy R. Biskind. Sabina Singer Bloom. Anna M. Blythe. Elizabeth Louise Bach. Ashley M. Bolick. Victoria Rose Bonds. Arthur Borden Heilman. Marielle Basillo. James Newton Brandt. Michael F. Brewer. Miles Emerson Bridgewater Jackman. Isabella C. Brink. Cassandra Lee Broadwin. Alexander S. Brogier. Colin Montgomery Brown. Sarah Catherine Allen Bucknovitz. Marissa G. Bunting. Claire Alana Burke. Taylor L. Burke. Jacob F. Burton. Robert Elio Cabrales. Monique Arel Calfe Smith. Isabel Miriam Campbell. Griffin P. Carey. Taylor R. Carlton. Aaron R. Carlson. Hedda Madeline Zacharin Carney. Andrew Francis Kavanaugh. Mirza K. Chacon Monroe. Lily Chambers. Eric Philip Christofferson. Cody Coughlin. Anna Colondo. Allie B. Collins. Timothy Joel Collins. Corey Green Coombe. Mackenzie Cornell Meyer. Amanda Mary Cosby. Emma Nanny Cranston. Ambria Nicole Crawford. Monica N. Cropsey. Claire M. Crossman. Cameron Forrest Crowell. Devin M. Curtright. Michael Andrew Dolenbach. Benjamin Daly. Andrea Rose Dean. Elizabeth Joyce Ann DeBunce. Rebecca Jordan DeLay. Melina Aslan de Leon. Catherine Coffin Delgado. Benjamin DeLuca. Claudia Diaz. Leonardo Di Giosia. Michaela E. Dibble Khan. James Bailey Dahl. Amanda Lee Douglas. Molly A. Douglas. Irene Elizabeth Duba. Grace M. Dudley. Katie Lauren Dunbar. John Ambrose Durant III. Dominika Dzierdziński. Maria Alexievna Egorenko. Bridger Eli. Kaylee Hope Engel. Sarah I. Essex. Lily E. Feldman. Sarah Ann Federley. Renee Michelle Field. Isabel Ann Fixo. Jacob E. Fong Gerzinski. Harrison Talaferro Forch. Nico Fortino. Adam Elliott Fractor. Christian Danilo Franco. Kirby R. Franklin. Anna Linnea Frazier. Abigail R. Freed. Zoe F. Freeman. Laurel Jolie Galati. Cole H. Gann. Mako Getty. Nicholas Charles Voyevich Gibbs. Spencer A. Gibson. Spencer J. Gibson. Drake Gilliland. Katie Golan. Sarah Mei-Ling Goldstein. Shannon E. Gormley. Ellen Rose Gowdy. Ilana Rose Grable. Kenya Granich. Caroline G. Gray. Raven M. Greenberg. Julia Grigsby. Emma Holland Grillo. Abby Kyara Griscom. Katarina Gabrielle Groves. Drew Groshong. Miguel D. Guerrero. Jacob C. Gutierrez. Alyssa D. Harbison. Marie G. Harp. Marissa E. Harshberger. Changcho He. Sina Heng. Bridget Henningsen. Madeline J. Herman. Alan R. Hermans. Danielle Adalberto Hernandez. Cole S. Hildebrand. Zeth C. Hillman Johnson. Michael Thomas Hirsch. Jacob Niall Hoshberg. Benjamin Homan. Ian Craig Holland. Valcourt Honoré. Sophia Horrigan. Jai Hu. Carlene B. Hauk. Jose Gabriel Huape. Taylor Ann Hudson. Nicole A. Heisinger. Clara McCulloch Irving. Elliot Jacobson. Lacey Christine Jacoby. Dorothy Sheffield Jaffrey. Daniel T. Jared. Morgan Rose Jarvis. Jocelyn Yvette Jerez. Yoselin Paula Vasquez Morales. Tirsa Oriana. Aspen Johnson. Natalia Johnson. Alex Benjamin Jones. Schuler Putnam Jones. Rochelle R. Jordan. James A. Josephson. Geneva Laurel Carr. Lillian Dame Kazanoff. Lexi M. Kelly. Walker J. Kelly. Maya Larkin Kelp. Madeline R. Kelsch. Jessie Eleanor Kennedy. Kylie Mae Kennel. Erin Rose Keppen. Lisetti Michelle Habale Stevens. Garrett Kugaz. Sarah Kamiko King. Nora S. Korhonen. Jessica Renee Kostka. Catherine McCarthy Cowell. John C. Cray. Eliza Brett Cronenberger. Sadie Sky Kurtz. Juye Kwan. Nicole Epiphany Lefebvre. Helena Z. Huey Lamb. Stella Z. Kwan Lamb. Rosemary Lambert. Mackenzie E. Lang. Rihanna Rose Larson. Aaron M. Law. Grace Olive Lawley. Torrin Summers Lee. Nicholas Kealaleo Lesage. Abigail Brooks Levison. Nicholas A. Lockwood. Catherine Leffler. Alexander Wind. Frankie Lorenzini. John Paul Loudon. David Scott Lovitz. Eve Grace Lowenstein. Cregan Thomas Leiden. Junan Liu. Ian S. McDonald. Drake William McFarlane. Spencer Allen Mackey. Nikaya Eliza Macumber Millman. Bernadette L. Martins. Alexander C. Mayer. Samuel H. Mackman. Mika M. Mandeville. Elise Markrack. Thomas John Masari. Madeline Mattis. Hannah Matheson. Jacqueline L. Maldwin. Anna Capri Morrow. Thomas H. McCauley. Scarlett McCarthy. Caitlin A. McCoy. Mason John Carroll McClellan. Muriel Mariana Meisner. Indu A. Merritt. Jessica Meyerson. Joseph Scott Miner. Alessandro Gabriele Miote. Elizabeth Kelly Pelissier Muir. Shay Meyerson. Alex Amico Navarro. Sarah R. Neuner. Jenny M. No. Dejanique Cherie Nicholas. Parker J. Nichols. Fran Novak. Lena Gabrielle Defendi Novak. Larkin Riley Wallenberg O'Shea. Emily Irene O'Sullivan. Morgan D. O'Sullivan. Julie A. Oatfield. Laurel Olden. Mami Onishi. Jacob K. Aram. Zachary R. Oser. Michaela Maya Claiborne Owen. Leone Palmieri. Lindsay K. Parmili. Mary Passarelli. Julianne C. Pat. Meng Peng. Rachel H. Perry. Keziah Ruth Peterson. Mackenzie Peterson. An Fan. Nathan M. Phipps. Curtis E. Perrett. Zoe K. Pittman. Perry Elizabeth Pond. Shelby Caitlin Poole. Victor Batinga Theodore. Jacqueline E. Potter. Ian S. Price. Renuda Promfenrangsi. Jacob I. Prusek. Hannah Frances Prutton. Shiloh Donovan Sujek. Sully Ray Peugeot. Balal Rahim. Aubrey Lynn Rakes. Abigail Ann Rautenberg. Alice Wolf Reichert. Robert Romanis. Emma Pierce Rempel. Julia E. Revere. Ian George Chandler Rex. Marin Ricketson. Kanan Isaiah Robertson. Jesse Robertson. Samantha H. Robinson. Evan Roach. Neil Rock. Melissa J. Rogers. Janae Matilde Rojo. Ruby A. Roll. Kaylin Virginia Rooney. Linnea Rooney. Tiana K. R. Rosario. Kevin R. Ross. Andrea Marie Roseberry. Jessica M. Rosenblatt. Matthew Mather Ross. Sydney Roth. David Ruan. Henri Nick Ryan. Willa Sakaro. Mehtab Kar Sol. Samantha Salkind. Gunnar A. Salwaz. Maya Phoebe Dillon Summergen. W. Sanborn. Paige E. Sanders. Benjamin Sands. Selena Ledesma Salcedo. Heather Elizabeth Schott. Emily Schatzberg. Fabiana Fuentes Scheckman. Kara Scherer. Kate Shermer. Julia Maeve Schuvek. Allison Kaylee Schneider. McKenna Lane Schoonover. Melissa Layton Schultz. Ellen Rebecca Schwartz. Zachary H. Scribner. Sydney A. Seabrook. Kyle Sears. Miranda Ray Shakes. Alexis Ruth Shapiro. David Ryan Shapiro. James A. Sharp. Grace Ellen Catalina Shaw. Jeffrey Shaw. Maggie B. Scholler. Charlotte C. Schuff. Tamar Schuhandler. Griffin Sidak. Connor K. Sick. Morgan Sigismonti. Zach Jonathan Simon. Jesse H. Simpson. Vincent T. Singer. Jacob M. Savinsky. Aaron Slack. Andrea Alice Slumsky Pritz. Hannah Rose Smay. Connor Shane Smith. Marina Alyssa Smith. Cameron Gregory Smith. Megan Spalding. Kiara Dewa Spade. Lauren Sidney Spiegel. Jennifer L. Stevenson. Julia M. Stevens. Reagan Mackenzie Stewart. Audrey Violet Stewart. Madison V. Sullivan. Lauren Elise Saplinski. Frances Hannah Swanson. Lillian McIntyre Taft. Isis Marie Crystal Terrell. Isabel Thomas. Madeline Sarah Ticknor. Burnley Labrie Truax. Allison Twidwell. Anthony Udez. Isabella Rose Vaccaro. Arielle Kristen Valdez. Madison Valladares Aldrich. Esteban Valle. Brandon J. Vance. Felicia Vargas Cabronero. Rachel M. Venn. Sophia M. Vigil. Paloma Anais Vizcaíno. Catherine Miller Volpe. Laura A. Voss. Catherine Elizabeth Wackett. Austin Taylor Wade. Preston Robert Wagner. Jessica D. Wallace. Rena Wang. Ina Waring Enriquez. Ajna G. Weaver. Samantha M. Weiss. Noah C. Wells. Christopher J. Weschler. Haynes Davis Whitaker. Lauren K. White. Naomi E. Widstrom. Juliette E. Wilhelm. Shannon Marie Williams. Andrew A. Williamson. Savannah Ray Wallstatter. Tomas Yanez. Lindsay Marie Yearman. Ashley Yu. Madison Catherine Young. Daphne Hoting Yuen. Yuja To.
Members of the class of 2017, please stand for the charge. A few minutes ago, I invoked the values that center a Lewis and Clark education: exploration, learning, and service. I am sure you all heard within that phrase echoes of the college's Latin motto: explorare, discere, sociare. Infinitive verbs carrying the aspirational charge enjoyed by all infinitives. Explorare and discere commend you as graduates of Lewis and Clark to courageous lives of exploration and lifelong learning. To render sociare as a commitment to service, however, is a bit of a free translation. Another infinitive verb, which is to say, another hint of something to which you should aspire. Sociare is more accurately rendered as to share in or unite. Now, on the face of it, to serve is not the same as to share. But sometimes a free rendering captures more of the essential truth than a faithful reproduction. And then, too, there is the fact that you have all learned to look beyond the surface, to seek out and bring into the light those deeper connections or hidden meanings too often overlooked. So my charge to you, class of 2017, is simple, but it is not small. Live those words that you have come to know so well. Explore, learn, and share the fruits of your learning so that you and all of those around you are well served. For true service is sharing of your knowledge, of your talent, of your heart, of your very self. Do that to your own best capacity, and you will do us all proud. Never forget, Lewis and Clark College is your home. While you are now preparing to leave that home, know that we'll be cheering you on. For we hope you will stay in touch and let us know how things are going. We will miss you, and we will not soon forget these days that we have shared together. Members of the class of 2017, to symbolize the milestone culminating in today's ceremony, please move your tassels to the left. You are now alumni of Lewis and Clark College. Congratulations on your success. I wish you all the goodwill in the world and Godspeed. Now, it's now my pleasure to invite the choir back on stage, now as graduates and alumni, to lead the class of 2017 and you, our audience, in singing the alma mater. The lyrics are printed in your program and the tune is familiar to many of you. ask the members of the audience to please remain seated during the recessional. Family members and friends, I'm sorry, lost my place here. Sorry, I have done this before. The recessional will continue to the main plaza outdoors. Please plan to meet your graduate there. Thank you and good luck.